What's going on, guys? Welcome back. We got another episode here with me and Greg. We did a pricing episode, which will be the one behind this. But this is going to be kind of a part two on pricing uh, and how that plays into pricing your products, some mindset stuff. But this has kind of come up in both of what me and Greg have been working on for the last little bit. So it's relevant. It's kind of top of mind. And like Greg, you said a couple things have just happened to you recently where pricing's been on your mind.
It has been on my mind. Yeah, I've gotten so annoyed in the last couple of days from some different things, and it all ties back to it basically an offshoot of the conversation we had last week about how business owners sometimes struggle with pricing, especially premium pricing, because they don't have the confidence in what they're doing, or they themselves wouldn't necessarily buy that. And so we talked about this idea of, are you your customer? You're not your customer, but just understanding that this week I wanted to touch on this idea that pricing is a filter for who you're going to attract. So if you are doing Walmart pricing, you're going to attract a certain level of customer. If you're doing Ferrari pricing, you're going to attract a different tier of customer. And when people are used to living in one tier, it's very difficult for them to sell to a higher tier because they don't quite believe that people would pay that much for that thing, right? So that touches on what we were talking about last week. This week, though, I want to just point out I've sold things from like $10 to $10,000. And what I can tell you is I absolutely cannot stand tightwad customers. So, so listen, if you're listening and you're a tightwad, you're probably a wonderful
Yes,
person.
you.
I just don't want you for a customer. Please never buy anything from me because it's not going to work out. It's just not, we're not going to get along. So somebody posted in one of the groups I'm in recently saying something like that they're doing Facebook, they're running a promo in Facebook ads to new traffic, and they're trying to exclude their current customers, but it's not working quite right. And so some current customers see the promo and then email and they're like, hey, can you retroactively apply that discount to the thing I bought last week? And this business owner was asking, yeah, what do I do? And, some people were like, oh yeah, you should take care of your people. And I'm like, tell them to fuck off. They bought it last week, and that, like, now the promo is this week. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if I walk into an appliance store, so we're like 1 week post Memorial Day here as we're recording this. And it's funny, like all the furniture stores and all the appliance stores run big sales on certain holiday weekends in the US.
Yeah.
If I was to walk into an appliance store or a furniture store and say, hey, I noticed your stuff was on sale last week, but I missed out. Can you still give me the discount? They're going to say no. You didn't buy it during the discount. Or if I buy something and then 2 weeks later it goes on sale and I go in there, hey, can I get this discount this week? Some businesses will give it to you. But I think, like, as a consumer, like, what are you doing? Like, that's I just think it's low class, right?
Yeah.
If it's a that much of a discount, if it makes that much of a difference, then be more diligent in your buying behavior so that you're buying on the dips or whatever. But I think for consumers to think that they can manipulate businesses to always get the best price, like it, just having that psychology, I don't want you buying things from me. I don't want the people who have to get the best deal every single time, or they're going to file a chargeback or refund or whatever. Like, I don't want to deal with you. I will price my things higher so that you don't buy from me because I can't stand dealing with you on a customer service level. You're a headache. You're
Yeah.
not worth, you're not worth my time because you as a customer are minimizing your value to my business by only buying like the cheapest things at the biggest discount. Like you're literally worth less to my business than a customer who comes in and pays full price, regardless of when they buy. So just know that if you're one of those like aggressive bargain hunters, businesses don't like you because you're not profitable. And I'm not going to go out of my way and give you 80% of my attention and energy and effort so that you can be worth as little as possible to my business. You're a bad customer and I don't want you in my business. Go away. I'm not giving you the discount. So that's my rant.
That's
If you'd
good.
like to be a good customer, if you would like me to serve you well, then we need some mutual respect. Okay. If you're going to buy something from me, I expect you to believe it's worth what you're paying. If you don't believe that at the outset, you shouldn't be buying the thing. If you do believe that at the outset, then the exchange is made, right? Or don't renege on our deal after the fact. Okay. I had a guy, I'm doing a significant price increase on my premium subscription membership
I
at the end
saw
of
that.
May. It's currently $9.99 a month, $9.99 a month, which is stupid for like I give people access to me for $10 a month, which is stupid, right?
You're 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 on OnlyFans, man. You're the email OnlyFans guy at 9.99.
It's seriously,
You gotta
seriously. So, I did that at the beginning to kind of warm people up and test this idea for the program, but now I'm making it more realistic. So it's going up tenfold. It's going up to $99 a month next month. I notified people, and so I have a number of people signing up for $10 a month today because I'm going to grandfather them in. And one guy emails me and he's like, "Hey, do you have training about XYZ in there?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. You should go check out this other guy." Then
Mhm.
this guy emails back. He's like, "Can you tell me more specifically what's in the program?" And I'm like, "No, no. For $10 a month, you can freaking find out." Right? I said, other than what's on the sales page, I have no specifics. I'm literally not going to, no, I'm not going to even going to reply. For $10 a month, you can figure it out. And if that is upsetting to you, please don't sign up. So I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little bit too like over the line here. So I'm curious your thoughts, Ben, on this idea of pricing, wanting to serve different levels of customers, and customer service and all of that. Because, I'm typically a pretty nice guy, but something about this rubs me the wrong way. And I just take offense when I feel like people are not valuing the products and services that we as entrepreneurs bring into the world. I take personal offense at that when people devalue what you and I do for a living. So maybe I'm just being a little sensitive. Curious your thoughts.
Maybe we'll just wrap it there. I think this was just a good a good lecture for the no, I agree. A couple things. Uh this is good. I think this has been kind of coming for you for a bit though with some different things like just from chatting where like you've helped a lot of people, you've helped a lot of people for free. You are very generous with your time, with your resources, and your skill set has continued to level up. And so I think it's kind of like this. Yeah, you've done enough of the not devaluing your own work, but your prices are catching up, and now it's like this recognition of some people are just looking for that deal, and they're after you for that deal, and it's like no, that's not happening anymore. So I think this is good. And I agree. But a couple things. I want to take this in like there's two directions. One is how this pertains to like how you sell things, and the other is when like how you buy things, kind of like it's the two sides of it. And I learned this a while ago and I couldn't really internalize it at the time. This is actually Sam Ovens. Do you know Sam Ovens, school
Yeah.
founder? People know him now again because of school, but like back in the day, he was one of the OGs to sell like a program online, like a start your own business program. And I bought that. His website was consulting.com. Phenomenal course. I don't think you can get it anymore. I still have it. It's like at the time this is going to make sense in a second. But at the time, you know, they were going through it. He had a big mindset section. And I was like, what is all this? Like, where's the Facebook ads? And he cautioned in the intro, he's like, this is so key to succeeding. And I see that so clearly now. And it's really good content about getting your head right. But in that section, he talked about just the idea that like when you want the deal or when you want to be cheap, those are the people you'll attract. And it's like that sounds kind of woo-woo. It is true. It is just true. If you are a person who's always looking for the deal in the bargain, not only will you get like less value out of those things when you get them, but you will attract people for your things who want that. It's just kind of a weird business like universe rule. So the reason I bring that up is because some of these people learning from you or wherever it is, you know, they're trying to have their own business and products, right? Like they're trying to go and do that. And they want to, I'm sure they want their customers to value what they're doing. And yet what the signal that they're sending is that they don't want that because they personally don't want to value products, and they don't want to value services from other people. So it's a really interesting thing that definitely one side affects the other side. It's like a teeter totter, whatever you call it. I don't know if that's the right analogy. So that is to say, it's both frustrating to deal with, but it's also just if you're coming at this from the point of view of, yeah, I'd like to charge more, I'd like to attract people that that can pay a premium and do not just want to extract, then you should take a look at your own approach to buying and how you approach other people's products. So that's more like the mindset side of it. On the product side of it, like I want to push back a little bit on this and maybe be kind of the devil's advocate.
Please
because
do.
because we touched on this a little bit last time, but how do you do this without being out of touch? And what I mean by this is you're fairly new, maybe your brand's new, you're starting a new enterprise, you've decided you want it to be premium, but nobody really knows who you are, your quality's good and all that, but then you come out with let's just what's a good example here? Maybe I don't know, protein powder, and you want to be twice the price. And then the feedback you're getting is from a market that is used to, you know, half of that. How do you sort of navigate this? How do you not just be unreasonable, and how do you put your best foot forward as a premium brand to then attract those people? Do you know what I mean? Because it can feel like you're showing up to the same audience at the start almost either way, and there's these expectations. So how do you establish those boundaries almost as a premium brand, especially when maybe you're getting that feedback like, yeah, I like this, it's just way too expensive?
Yeah, no, that is a great question. And it is different with products. And I think the challenge is when when we're selling products and we're defining the product by the category in our own head, then we're instantly comparing what we're doing to what a bunch of other people are doing in the category. Meaning if we're selling a shampoo, right, we're going to want other people's pricing and branding and messaging and all that. Like that probably affects how we position. So if we see that the cheapest bottle of shampoo on Amazon is $10 and the most expensive is 30, what most people will do is they'll come in and they'll launch their product at 20, right? Like flat in the middle. Because we typically can't compete with the low price. Like when we're just starting out, like you don't have the ability to compete on the low end. Very few people have the cojones to come in and charge 60? And if you do want to charge 60, how do you do that, right? That's kind of your question. Like,
Mhm.
how do you stay in touch? So what I would say is if you want to sell a premium product, then the way to come at this is that you need to decommoditize your product from the market. You cannot allow people to view what you sell as a shampoo because then they can compare it to product
Mhm.
X, product Y, product Z that are lower priced.
Mhm.
So you need to come in and say that your product is you know, a, a hair something system, right? I don't know. Just making
Mhm.
this up off the top of my head. It's a hair optimization system. It's not shampoo, right? Maybe a shampoo is a component of it. But what you have, like shampoo, what they're selling is, hey, this you can clean your hair and smell nice afterwards, right? But your system would be something that is solving a different problem, right? Using the similar mechanism.
Mhm.
One of one, I'll touch on this really quick. One of my mentors just published a book on Amazon. It's called "Make 'Em Beg to Buy" by Travis Sago. Maybe we'll link it in the description of this video. But the entire book is teaching people how to pre-sell their customers on the offer before they see what the thing is. So in that example, we would be talking to people about, hey, here's what's going to happen if you don't take care of your hair properly. Here are the mistakes most people make in taking care of their hair. Here are the problems that causes, right?
Mhm.
What people really want is a they want a system that does XYZ, right? It looks great, it keeps it healthy, and da 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 da. Like you can come up with all these stuff. Here's why none of the other current products actually solve that problem. But luckily, we have the solution right here. And the way that you frame the price is instead of this is $60 versus 10, 20, or 30, what we do is we say this is $60 versus the cost of you doing nothing. This is $60, but hair restoration treatment in the future is going to cost several thousand, right? This is only $60, but mitigating these other problems is going to cost you status. It's going to cost you identity. Like you won't be as happy with your appearance. We frame up the cost of what we offer against the cost of them continuing on with their problem. Okay.
Mhm.
So the cost is based on a real cost in their life, not compared to other product XYZ.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does make sense. And I was listening to you there. I was also just pulling up some examples off the top of my head of like where do I think someone's kind of done this and broken that category. So I have a few examples, but I think it was Tim Ferriss who mentioned this, and I've heard him mention a few times how when approaching a product or an enterprise or a business, um, I might have the phrasing wrong, but something like that category of one.
Mm-hmm.
How can you almost be the category? Because if you're kind of in the category, the comparison can be too clear to your point, and everyone's just, oh, it's just the version of that that's twice as much, as opposed to, oh, it's you know that thing
Mm-hmm.
that costs that much that just is that thing. That's very vague. So one of the examples I was thinking about is uh in the next year or so, like I want to add a deodorant to our product line, right? And deodorant is one of those things that people think of as costing a certain amount, right?
Yeah.
If it gets over $14, it's like holy, like like that's insane. And and I would like to charge 19 to $29 for my deodorant.
Yeah.
Uh, what's interesting is from a ingredient and kind of benefits point of view, like 100%, it is worth that. But that's going to be one of those situations where the consumer is going to initially want to compare. Uh, So I have some of my own ideas for how to make my own category there, but the biggest lever for that, I think, it is not just your positioning, because people just like to say premium this, premium that. It's like you can't just tell people premium and they think it's worth the money. The positioning is, why is it kind of a category of one, which is the stuff that you can layer into your product that literally adds to the value. And I think your brand is one way you can do that. So your quality is definitely a way you can do that. But your brand and how you name, how you speak about, how you position that product to make it almost you can almost make it, this is how I think about it, solve more problems than the other things in that category does, but they don't have to be the same problems that those other things solve. So here's an example. This brand I love, Kill Crew. These guys on Twitter, the two founders, they talk about a lot of their experience. It's gym clothes. It's kind of gym and MMA stuff. And uh that's a category that everybody wants to be in. Everybody wants to have it be the next Gymshark. Everybody wants to have an apparel brand. So it's a very competitive niche, and they charge premium prices. And they built their brand around the idea of everyone's got something to kill depression, kill PTSD, kill addiction. And where you exercise your demons is in the gym kind of thing, or in the ring. And so it's a strong brand. It's a strong kind of mission. And their shorts are $50. Just kind of a pair of athletic shorts, which is up there. Like I think Lululemon's maybe like 59 or something, and they'd probably be on the higher end. But for a brand that's just started in the last few years and uh position themselves like that, that's pretty impressive to sell shorts for $50. But the reason I bring that example up is because people are buying into their brand. The shorts you can get on Alibaba, for $13.
Yeah.
It's the brand that adds the value there. It's their cool design that adds the value. The mission, killing your own demons. How much is that worth? Feeling good in the gym and then buying into a community of killers who are bettering themselves. That's something you want to be a part of. That's something where if you find this brand, you're not going to be comparing them to the lower end of these products.
Exactly. Yeah. I currently pay $22 for my deodorant.
Okay.
So I won't use anything else currently. Launch yours and I'll use yours.
Okay.
But I've been trying natural deodorants for several years, and typically they either cause irritation after a while or they don't work. Like they don't work. I mean, shout out to Van Man. He's got a deodorant that works, and I'll gladly pay $22
Yep.
per jar for it. I paid $12 a tube for my toothpaste because it's like nano hydroxyapatite, fluoride free, this and that. And it's amazing. Like my teeth are like noticeably, I've been using this for like 10 years.
I need to get that brand from you. I'd like to get that brand from you.
Okay. Right now I'm using a brand called Boka, Boka. They're pretty good. They have I like their mint, but they got some other flavors that the other people in the household like. They're decent.
There's a great example right there, though. Like, so, what is a Crest thing? Is it $5.99 or something? Or
yeah, so, I mean, it's probably like $3 to $6.
Right. So then, what's neat about the toothpaste one specifically, actually, is dude, what are you buying? You're buying not being made stupider by fluoride every day. Like,
yeah.
Like that's an easy one.
Yeah.
Like
I'm paying to not poison my children.
Yeah, exactly. So I love that. I love that positioning. That almost makes it creates that category that's just, totally set aside. I put out this tweet the other day, and I like, same kind of idea. Like, there was these it was this old it was this old woman's like underwear brand, and it was not even back then. I guess their thing was like it was natural material or something. And this is kind of coming full circle now with even there's these Lululemon leggings everyone wears, and apparently that messes up women's hormones basically. But the idea that you're not just buying uh you know a pair of leggings or this, it's like you're almost buying, like, you could position of it like your future family. Like,
Yeah.
you're paying to ensure that you can have that family. And it's like, that might sound manipulative, but this is how you establish like what something like genuinely is worth.
Yeah. I think that is a huge wide open market right now, that positioning. I mean, we're kind of on this like anti-plastic kick as a society, and learning more about, maybe microplastics are not that great for you. And then we have people covering their entire body in microplastic fiber and then working out, which generates heat and friction and sweat and like allows it to potentially be absorbed through your skin. And
Yeah.
nobody's talking about that yet. So somebody could jump in and have like some organic cotton workout clothes and just point to all these other brands, that like premium brands.
Yeah.
And they're like, that is literally, that is literally recycled soda bottles.
Yeah.
You're wearing recycled soda bottles,
Yeah.
and we have real clothes, real fiber. I don't know. I think there's an opportunity for someone to jump in and do that.
I think so too. I think there's so many ways to do a cool cotton brand. Like, it could be underwear, it could be the shirts, it could be a mix. Like, uh, gosh, it could be I'm gonna sound like lingerie. Like, what a
Mhm.
market there, because you could the pricing. Anyways, that's a whole other opportunity. But the whole reason people are like, what is he talking
But a
about?
little off track here. Sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. Uh, the reason I bring that up is because, like, it's an example of how you create the category. Like, that's more than just comparing
Mhm.
the, the different items. It's like, no, there's something else that you're selling. Um, so I think that is worth reflecting on, bringing it back to like pricing your products or even getting feedback. Even the way you position it can influence the feedback you get. Um, and by that I mean, if you just position it as a replacement for the thing they're using, well, then the comparison is easy to make for the person in a way that makes it look like you're just charging way too much.
Mhm.
So that can be built right into, that's like your landing page, your website, your messaging. If you're just giving the trade-off, use this one instead, without the rest of the story,
Yeah.
you're almost going to invite those comments and that lack of uh, perceived value.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think that was like the gist of what I had for pricing. Uh, I do like the I do like the other side of this, which is just the mindset stuff in terms of how you approach it yourself, how you what you were willing to pay for, what you were looking to get out of something. Uh, because when you shift it for yourself as well, I think it's easier to shift it, even easier to sell it to other people at a higher price if you're like, know why you value things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going back to that before, whereas you're just trying to always look for the reason it should be cheaper or 80% off, you're gonna have a hard time positioning a product that other people will perceive the high value in.
Yeah. And yes, I mean, being the low price leader works. Walmart makes more than I do. However, it's very difficult to start in that place because you can't compete against Walmart on price, right? They do what they do because of massive, massive scale. Um, but I mean, that works. It's just for a beginner, like if you're starting a new brand, if you're trying to come in and be like a budget brand, man, playing on hard mode, truly, not only because of the economics, but because the people you attract are going to be people who require 10 times more effort, customer service than if you go a little bit upmarket. So I've said my piece on this.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's crucial. Like if you don't have the we said this last time, but if you don't have the margins, if you don't have the profits, if you start out with a struggling enterprise, uh, that can be an uphill battle. So
Yeah.
don't do it unless you can compete with Walmart. Awesome. I think that's it. I think that's the main thing. You got anything else?
That's it. That's it for me today.
Okay. For the for the cheap for the brokies out there who have been bugging Greg, I guess you heard it from him. It's prices are changing. The charity's over. So time to level up. Alrighty, guys, thanks. Please drop a like or comment if you like this stuff, and we will see you next week. Peace.